What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. This is just a quick rant video. Months ago I made a video about how I A/B tested profile pictures across different apps. If you're not familiar with what A/B testing refers to, it basically refers to when an app will give some users one experience and other users another experience, a whole separate experience with features and stuff like that, to test out differences in how users react. So what I did is not exactly A/B testing, but for lack of a better term, that's what I called my video. Basically, across different apps, I had different profile pictures to see if I could pick up on any differences in terms of the kinds of messages I get on apps, how many messages I get, the kinds of guys who reach out and stuff like that, right? So going off of that, I recently changed my profile picture on GRINDR for the same reason. I wanted to test out what differences I would find. Usually with GRINDR, if you've ever used GRINDR, most people have like a sexy pic as a profile picture because it's mostly a hookup app, right? That's what most people use GRINDR for. Considering it's GPS based, it's all about who's nearby. Naturally, that made it turn into a more salacious app than a more, let's say, serious dating app, right? So most people have like a headless torso photo, a muscle, legs, whatever. But I've typically been somebody who still shows his face because I want to present my most wholesome self, because I always prefer being date-oriented versus hookup-oriented. I just feel like if you're open to dates, but your profile picture is a headless torso, you're kind of sending a mixed message there, in my opinion. But anyway, I realized that even when I have my face in a photo on GRINDR, usually it's one of these, like a Zoolander. Like I try to look sexy in my own little way. Plus, I feel like when I smile, I have a big smile and I have a big face to begin with, so I get these chipmunk cheeks, which I don't think is that attractive. But I realized, even when I have more wholesome profile pictures on GRINDR, I always look kind of moody, but moody in like a fashion way. You know what I'm saying? Not like actually angry, just like a, like what's going on with this guy kind of thing, a mystique kind of thing. So I thought, let me test out a profile picture with a smile in it. Now here's the thing, on GRINDR, you can have multiple pictures in your profile, but there's one, of course, that comes up first. So I've always had other photos where I'm smiling, even if it's a subtle Mona Lisa enigmatic smile. But I thought, let me just give a big smile as the forefront of how I present myself on this app. I'm curious what happens. I figured I would get more messages from like more serious guys who aren't really that hookup oriented or who don't lead with hookups. And I was right, but here's what also happened. I started getting way more messages than I normally get, even hookup oriented messages. Like I got all kinds of messages more frequently. And it made me realize how simple that is, right? A smile. It's so simple, but there's something about a smile, if that's what you lead with, right? That feels jovial, feels friendly, feels like good energy. It evokes good energy. It's just how we're coded from infancy, right? We see a smile, we code it a certain way. And on an app that can be so seedy and people can be toxic and rude and flaky and whatever, I guess that first instinct people have of seeing somebody smile is a much more positive one, and also probably more distinct than a lot of the other profile pictures people see. So even though I don't think it's my sexiest photo, I was pleasantly surprised to find what drastic impact it had on messages I get. And one guy even said to me, who is super cute, and I'm still talking to him, he reached out and he said, every time I see your smile in your profile picture, I start to smirk. That validates exactly what I'm saying, right? That it's the way we're coded. You see a smile, you want to smile back. So I guess my thesis here is sometimes it is worth presenting yourself based on what would make you feel good to see in another person's profile versus just doing what everybody else is doing, which with an app like GRINDR, of course, is leaning into the libido elements of a headless torso, a chest picture, or so on. I mean, imagine if an app like GRINDR, every face you saw First of all, every profile you saw had a face, but everybody was smiling. Think about what effect that would have probably on the culture of GRINDR, the community of users. Like, how interesting would that be if there was an app that required you not just to have your face in the profile picture, but actually smiling and evoking like a positive, friendly appearance? Let me know your thoughts below. As always, catch you next time.